Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning to a special edition of the Sports World. I'm here with Claudio, the Hall of Famer. Got Lee McGinnis in the house. What's going on, Lee?
What's up, Lee? Claudio?
What's going on? Exactly. I don't know who it is. I don't know where Jim's supposed to be calling in, but it's supposed to be Jim. Never know where he is. Parts unknown. But we're going to get this show started. I'm going to hit him up in the background. But we're going to start it like we always do with a little Steel City news. Claudio, what do you have for us, buddy? What's going on?
All right, a couple things. The Pirates, they should have brought up Skeens early like I said. If they did, they may be in first place. But they didn't, so here we are. They have a shot to make some noise. They have a shot to get in the postseason. And with the three-headed monster of Skeens, Jones, and Keller, they could really do some crazy things, okay, because it's all about pitching in the playoffs. Now, do I think it's going to happen? No. I don't think Jones is going to continue that streak. He's already starting to get hit. Keller, I don't have confidence in Keller to continue this great pitching that he's been on, pitching lane that he's been on. He had a great streak last year. As soon as the All-Star game hit, he went down. He didn't do as well. I kind of see that happening. Offensively, as I've said 1,000 times, if you're not going to go out and get a new car, fix up the car that you have. And I don't see them fixing anything up. Skeens is big time. But what I'm worried about with Skeens is they may shut him down sometime in August because they don't want to go, even if they're in a playoff contention, they may shut him down. I don't know, but that's just a little hunch. I hope not, because win now. The way you don't know what's going to happen next year. Go for the playoffs. Go for the whole thing now. And finally, a legend, really more than a legend, Willie Mays passed away. When I remember the first time I got a Willie Mays card back in 1973. It was in his New York Mets outfit or uniform, and I thought that I don't know, it was like magical. Then there was a 3-faced card: Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, and Willie Mays, and I still have that card. I got it at the Swickley Isleys back in '73. These guys like Ruth, Aaron, and Mays, even though I saw Aaron and Mays play, Jim saw Ruth play, but I saw Aaron and Mays play, it was like they weren't even real. They were mythical. And it's sad when they pass, but he'll never pass because his name will always resonate through the annals of baseball talk. And but he was an unbelievable player in person. God rest his soul.
Oh yeah, say hey kid, man. What can we say about him? Definitely a true legend in the game, man. You should sing out thunder, man, for that. You did everything you can to say about Willie. I want to talk about Tank Davis. Talk about pound for pound boxing number one. Fast, fight at 135, knocking guys out cold, power in both hands. He was losing a fight. What he did against Frank Martin, knocked him down, let him shoot his load. That fourth, fifth, sixth round, he came on and ended up taking him out. Life-threatening uppercut. Got the beast game, man. Just a monster in here. Still would like to see Victor Lomachenko and Victor Stevenson, but nobody's beating him at 135. Just a matchup nightmare. Too quick, too fast, back flipping off the top rope after he knocks you out. He's the truth, man. And guys have to start putting some respect on his name. Don't put Inoue in front of him. Don't put these guys in front of him. Okay, maybe Bud, maybe Booster, but not Inoue. Inoue, big enough to come up and challenge Tank right now. That should be a fight that's on the horizon. I saw him standing next to Teofimo Lopez. They were about the same size, so he should definitely make a 130. He's beating up on all those little guys, make the Tank Davis monster fight. That's what I want to see. But see what you got for us. Got anything for us? Credit or anything?
I'll respond to the fight if that's what you open up with. But you got your microphone under your shirt or something? Because your volume. You're not clear like Claudio.
Yeah, you're.
Man. I don't know what's going on.
But we might have to use closed caption for you. But as far as the fight goes, I'm impressed with Tank, man. I'm impressed. Just things that I thought he could have had done went to the body and capitalized. Because one thing about Tank, he gives up a lot of rounds, and if he do that with a different type of fighter, he's banking on the knockout. He's banking on his power, but his setup game and his trap game it's unbelievable. The combinations I watched him throw to set the guy up for the knockout. But I just didn't like he was giving up those rounds the way he did, because if he got dropped early in the first 4 rounds, he's really behind on the scorecards, even though they had him winning the fight at the time. But I'm impressed with his traps. I'm impressed with how he set things up. So
those are great points. But don't you think you're right on the button on that? But don't you think his corner should say, "Hey, you can't afford to always win at home run. I mean, you got to put some rounds in the bank."
Yeah, and they said at the press conference that Frank Martin is a front runner. So from a boxing perspective, okay. Floyd said that Zab Judah is a front runner, which means the first to 4 or 5 rounds they're going to be at their best, and then later on they're going to slow down and then you take over. But the difference between Floyd and Tank got that knockout power. So I agree with you, Claudio. I think that he could have still stuck with the basics just to win a few early rounds, so he wouldn't have to be really behind in the scorecards. Because one foul, 1 point taken, and 1 knockdown, he could be put in a situation where he had to go for the knockout in the championship rounds.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I showed a little bit of it. That Tank fight was exciting, man. Then, of course, Ryan Garcia had to make himself known. It's time for that guy to get suspended. He should be going at least a year or two. Get him out of the sport, man. One topic I want to ask you guys about. Again, number to call 412-530-5063 about Mike Tomlin. Neither one of you guys were Mike Tomlin fans. You both wanted him gone a year ago, 2 years ago. Wanted to get your thoughts on that. You got a 3-year deal. What are your thoughts? I'm going to go to you first, Claudia.
For him, he got the I think there was talk about 20 million a year or something like that. Good for him. I mean, I've never been a fan, but I'll say this: I know how hard it is to win on any level. I know how hard it is to win. He's won. Now, could he have done better with what he had? I think so. Maybe others don't. I don't know. But I'll say this again: this year they've had an unbelievable off season, but is that team going to gel? And it's going to be all up to the coaching staff. Not, in my opinion, I think if they do well this year, if they do bad, I'm going to put it on the coaching staff. If they get a big time free agent receiver and Pickens doesn't like it, or if he doesn't get enough looks, or if Najee Harris maybe is a little bit upset about something, it's up to the coach to sit them down and say, hey, this is what it is. Are they going to do it? How's the play calling going to be? Everybody had a scapegoat last year with Matt Canada. Tomlin is the head coach. He's going to have to put his foot down, not just with the coaching staff, how he wants things run, but with the players. As soon as they get out of that lane, okay, he's going to have to put them back in that lane. Will he do it? I don't know. Has he done it before? I don't know. You tell me. I know he's, everybody loves him, and that's fine. But I don't know. They've had a great offseason, but again, it'll be the ball's now on the coach's side of the court. What are they going to do with it?
All right, Lee, your thought.
I mean,
you hate
it's not necessarily true. I liked how Tomlin handles the media. I like how Tomlin handled his business as a head coach. I like the fact that he even moves and resides in the city of Pittsburgh. But I think Tomlin took for granted when he had a super Hall of Fame quarterback, a franchise quarterback, and when he had the great Todd Haley at the offense coordinator, that they should have won championships. He took for granted with this relationship thing of hiring Keith Butler. He runs a zone defense against Todd Brady and got 8 apart. I feel Tomlin took for granted, and then once you lose Ben and you bring Matt Canada in for whatever reason that he had his ties with them, he should know better. Tomlin admit that he has grown as a head coach, but he should be better than what he is. His decision-making as far as his coaches and his players, especially hiring Matt Canada. And one thing that can backfire with what people are saying of letting Deontay Johnson go, but just like the Washington Redskins was loaded, I'm going to use that name, when they hired all those guys that one year, they're loaded. They're loaded on both sides of the ball. He wants to win. He says he's in the business of winning. But Tomlin has to be on his A game. And other media outlets and sources besides Steel City Sports World says that the Steelers, the Rooneys, just settled for a coach that just stays 500 or above. They just settle for that. And to me, he knows he's in the business of winning championships, but he got to be on his A game. There's no excuses this year. I mean, execution is done on the field, but that's at the same time of him being strategic. He has to be on his A game instead of just being on the sideline cheerleading.
Yeah, I mean, you are cheerleading, Lee. All right, man. Referee Lee, listen, this is where you guys are both wrong. Mike Tomlin, 173 wins, 100 losses. Yes, the postseason record isn't what we'd like to team, been to 2 Super Bowls, won one. Again, you're talking about a career 181, 110. That's Hall of Fame level. I mean, I don't know what you guys expect. Of course, you want more in the postseason. But as we know nowadays, you have to have what? An elite quarterback. So just an all-around great team. Now, you come up against Tom Brady. Tom Brady, nobody was one. He had 7 titles. Who was getting those titles? Now you're in the midst of Patrick Mahomes. You'll be lucky to get one. I mean, it's just a lot of guys, a lot of competition. I'm glad he got it. Of course, I want to do better. Again, because he had the quarterback. Or we sold on Russell Wilson. Or we sold on Justin Fields. As we know in this league, unless you have a top-tier quarterback, you're probably not going to win a Super Bowl. If Russell Wilson still got stuff left, I think he has stuff left. I think the defense will be outstanding. But again, wide receiving core. I like George Pickens, but he's never been a number one. Number 2, we don't have a number 2. We have a lot of guys just okay, but we don't know. Calvin Austin looked great in minicamp, but he can't stay healthy. He hasn't produced. So we've got to upgrade that wide receiver position. I'm glad we got it. I like Mike Tomlin as a coach. I think he's handled some real knuckleheads in the past. And you guys look at AB. Nobody's been able to handle AB other than Mike Tomlin. Everywhere he's been a nutcase. Imagine that. And he had Le'Veon Bell and AB at the same time. But once they left, other coaches couldn't handle it. He does a great job of motivating. Patrick Queen came here in part because he wanted to play under Mike Vick. Same thing with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. The coach that players go and die for. AB is crazy in the CTE and everything he got going on now. He even said he tears up when he talked about Mike Tomlin. That's what I want as a coach. Somebody who's, after they left, they're still going to build him up. They're still going to be fans of his because they know he's pushing to be great. Now this year, you got to push to be greater. I mean, I think they have the talent. I think they can do it. You just got to see what Russell Wilson has left. I think the D is outstanding. The run game is going to be outstanding. I think you guys are too hard on Mike Tomlin.
So Luke, he's getting 20 million to be a motivator and a therapist. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying he does more than that. I'm motivated. See, you've been listening to Terry Bradshaw too long. He's not out there dearly. You're not in the room. I hear the players talk. You know, I've heard sideline conversations talking to players about how to do certain things right. And the coach is more than just X and O's. Lee and Claudio. Claudio, you know especially, it's more than just X and O's. That's just part of it. I think you guys are too hard on him. And
he's in the hot seat.
You are enjoying a Hall of Fame career.
He can have it, but they still settle for just that's not the standard what they settle for.
Who else was out there, Lee? Who else was out there? Give me some names that
was Tomlin out there when Cowher resigned or retired?
That's
Nobody knew Mike Tomlin. He was a 1-year defensive coordinator. Nobody knew him.
They would have got rid of him. Would have been 10 teams immediately trying to get him.
Well, that's fine.
It's not like hiring a guy like Monty Williams from Detroit and nobody's out there trying to get him. You're talking about a Hall of Fame coach. Every team would have been trying to get him. You think Tampa Bay wouldn't take him right now? Dallas wouldn't take him right now? All those guys.
They will take him. They will take him for his social work. Motivator.
Lee, stop, man. Lee, I know there's a lot of motivators that don't have 181 wins and Super Bowl on their record, Lee. How about that, man?
Well, one of those Super Bowls is Cowher, so put an asterisk next to that.
Cowher last won in 2005. They won in 2008. What are you talking about?
That was Cowher's.
Not Cowher. That
was Cowher's reign. They had a good team. They could have been a dynasty, but not with Tomlin.
Why did they win it after 05? If it was
2 years after that.
They didn't win it 3 years after that.
2 years. They won the second year.
And they won
it 3 years.
That's no longer the team, Lee.
What have you done for me lately, besides cheerleading and social work?
You he got a team with Kenny Pickett as a starting quarterback into the playoffs.
Listen, if he's that so strong a mind frame, anybody know that Matt Canada is not qualified to call plays in the NFL.
All right, I give you that.
What is his?
He has even made bad hires as offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators.
To never let the great Todd Haley go.
After when they got out, they got exposed. Go ahead, Claudio. You were saying we got Sean that jumped in the word. What's up, Sean?
I was saying, like for example, when you think of this coach, you think he was an offensive genius. You think of that coach, he's a defensive guy. What is Tomlin's? What can you hang your hat on Tomlin? Not the 181 wins or the no lot. What is his thing?
And this is what I don't understand. Hold up, Lou. Let me say this, Lou, because you advocate Mike Tomlin.
He came up under Tony Dungy. He came over as a defensive coach, and since he's been here, the defense has been top notch.
Lou,
and look here.
How do you go from playing wide receiver in college? So he should have offensive knowledge to make him well-rounded. He's a defensive coach, this Tampa 2 thing. But listen to this key point, y'all, you keep missing. He had 1 year at defensive coordinator. He had the #1 run defense and the worst pass defense in the NFL that year. What is his biggest weakness? Pass defense.
Listen, man. All I know, Frank is always up in the top 5. The defense is always up in the top 5. At some point, the players have to make a play. I mean, they have to make a play. He went from a defensive team to the offensive team, now they're back to being a defensive-minded team. You know, he went through a number of transitions. Listen, you could find flaws with any coach, even Bill Belichick. You know, he couldn't get a job.
Who?
Coach ever.
Who?
He couldn't get a job when New England left him. He thought he was going to walk into the door. Nobody wanted him. So now he's out here running around with 21-year-old women because he can't get a job.
I think he's better off making videos and selling books about, motivation.
But what I'm saying, what happened when he lost Tom Brady? When he lost that,
he went to another place. So Bill Belichick is established.
Fell off.
He's established.
No. Once Brady left, what happened? He fell off to the point of
that's okay. He might have been burned out.
Okay? No, or he might have got it.
But he'd been established as a defensive coordinator and head coach in the league. You remember 1994, he took the Browns to the playoffs. The Steelers played them 3 times that year. You need to stop that.
Listen, I'm not going to let you slander the man. 3-year contract.
I'll support him.
Claudio and Lee, eat it and weep.
I'll support him. I watch all his press conferences.
Huh?
I support Mike Tomlin. I'm back. But he's in the hot seat. He's a good motivational speaker.
Hot seat that has been just the ink didn't even dry on a 3-year contract. He's on the hot seat.
He's in the business of winning.
Huh?
He's in the business of winning. He has to win in these 3 years. But I'm gonna tell you this: I say trade him after the 2nd year. Get rid of him. If he's got so much value, get rid of him.
What do you need to win in this league?
Huh?
What is the main thing you need to win in this league?
What's the main thing? The Super Bowl.
No, elite quarterback.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you on that.
So,
but everybody who got drafted wasn't elite and showed the last year. These rookies and other quarterbacks.
Listen,
Houston Texans.
C.J. Stroud is an elite quarterback.
Oh, now he is. Okay.
He last year he proved it. He led the
Trade
league.
Mike Tomlin, and you'll get 1st-round draft picks.
Hey, Sean, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, I said, Sean. Okay. Sean, you with us? All right, looks like Sean is.
Get a new stadium with it too. Trading.
Hey, real quick now. I know we got into some things. We have a caller on the line. But we do have a caller. Mark is on the line. Let's get Mark in here. Hey, Mark. Thanks for the call.
Yes, sir.
All right,
yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Hear from a legend. Yes, sir. We hear you loud and clear.
Legend.
Beautiful. Hey, listen, man, listen, and I told you before, Luther, I can't even spell sports. But you guys make this stuff so interesting. I couldn't wait to find out when you were going to come back on the air after this past draft with the Steelers. First of all, I just think the Steelers this year, if they don't sit back and just have fun, that depth chart is unbelievable in terms of who they can bring in on second and third string. And if the Steelers staff is smart enough to do something non-traditional, and that is when with the bringing players in and out. You know, if you got a team that's keen on the defense of shutting down your quarterback, well, bring in a guy that can throw. Bring them in and out. And I think that they will have a great season if they really enjoy themselves. But the other thing I'm concerned about is that while we're very critical of Coach Tomlin, nobody's talking about the keen sense of shrewd business of the Steelers, the Steelers management. I would love for you guys, when you get a chance one time, play that 2 or 3 minute interview with Mike Tomlin. And it wasn't really an interview. One reporter just asked him after he got his contract renewed. You got to listen to what he was saying. That wasn't the response that you expected to hear when someone just got an extended contract. It sounded like someone was beat down, possibly talked down to, and to move things forward, the coach signed on to it. It's not what he said, it's what he didn't say. When you get the new contract, it's usually, hey, thank you for giving me the contract, thank you for the increase in rate, thank you for your vote of confidence, and I really appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. I'm going to be a Steeler. You know, that's what you expect. We didn't hear that. And so I believe that there is a rift between Tomlin and management. It is not over Tomlin's performance. I think Tomlin, one of the things that make him great, I think one of the announcers there made the comment about, you know, he's a therapist, he's a social worker. But that is an addition to being a decent coach. So he should be even paid more. And the most important value that Tomlin brings to the table is the added value of longevity. His ability to navigate around the politics of the game and to still be the second longest running coach, I think, in Pittsburgh, maybe the third, but the second. And that alone is significant. You can't play that down. And I think he's doing a fairly decent job if given the chance. Thank you so much. If I can hold on and listen for a minute, I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. You want to jump in?
That's Mark Britley, right?
That's Mark Britley, the legend.
That's Mark Britley, the legend.
How you doing, Mark? Good to hear you.
Hey, now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Britley, you want to jump in?
No, I saw the one interview where he said he's not looking in his rear view. He don't care about his accolades. He's, want to move his team. He's concerned about this year. He's not concerned about, the contract. That's part of the business. His job is, besides that, to focus on the team. And that's I like how he handles his business. I like how he deals with the media. I just feel some of his decision making could have been better with coaches and personnel. And despite his record, he's in the business of winning. That's the thing. So what have you done for us lately?
Mark said the word half decent a couple times. He's half decent. No, I'm good with that. Again, he's been around. I give the Steelers credit for not changing coaches every 3 minutes. I like that. You're not going to win every year. He has, but I'm talking about, again, the postseason. The Steelers should be held. I always said the Steelers, Lakers, Cowboys. I don't know enough about hockey, but those teams are elite. They should always be,
Braves,
right there.
Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves.
Yankees, not the Braves. I'm sorry. Lakers, Steelers, Yankees. I'm not going to say the Braves, but I'm talking about perennial, every year in the. But again, this year's going to be a telltale sign. Whenever he has a different group of younger players. If they go off the lane, is he going to put them back on? That's what I'm curious to see. And as far as him saying he doesn't care about the accolades, all coaches care about accolades. And as far as, Lee, I don't like how he handles the media. There's some things in the past couple of years I wasn't crazy about, but he's there. What he should do is, again, be ready if things get, because I don't think they have a bad team. I don't know. They put together a bunch of named players, which is good, but are they going to gel? I don't know. But if they get out of that lane, he's going to have to put them back in the lane real quick.
Yeah, well, they have some young players. I like what Mark was saying, and I think Mike Tomlin's heard Claudios and the Lees of the world, just no matter what, always slandering them. So he's kind of beat down, like Mark was saying. But this year, I think bringing in a Russell Wilson, he has the type of leader that you need, not a young guy trying to learn. He's been around. He knows the ropes. I think him and Tomlin will be able to get these young guys to focus. And the defense is loaded. The defense is going to be outstanding. The offense, as long as you can put up some numbers, I think Russell Wilson still throws a great deep ball. We saw that at the OTAs. That's one thing he can do. And I think Pickens is going to love him.
Let me ask you this question, Luther. Is he given, what's the word? You got Arthur, what's his name? Arthur Smith. So is he giving him the whole offense?
Yes.
So he's not going to chime in.
Of course, the head coach will chime in, but we'll see a complete difference than the Matt Canada, jet sweep left, and all this other high school offense. We're going to actually see plays that look the same. 1 minute, and the thing is, the play action will be back this year. He's going to
yes.
So that's going to open up things down the field. We already have a strong running game, so the linebackers will be coming up, try to stop a Najee Harris or Jalen Warren, and that'll open up some passing lanes. That's what we were missing. It was a shotgun, or you knew it was a run. So I'm excited. Real quick, I did want to get time is ticking on us. Mark, are you still with us?
Yes, sir. Can I just say one other thing, and I'll hang up, Luther? I just wanted to say too.
Would you say, Lee?
Is it okay?
Say it again.
No. I just wanted to say one thing, and I'll hang up and listen to the response. The other thing is that I'm hoping that your show would begin, as well as all of the listeners that will begin. Luther, there is no excuse why we cannot see this lineup in 3 years at the NFL draft. Okay, we have 3 years to lobby the NFL. They brag and boast about what they do into every neighborhood that they come into with this draft. And Luther, we need the local flair. You have it. We need the local connection. BCTV is 30 seconds away from the stadium, okay? And so we are truly, truly partners. And so I'm saying that for everybody to get their pencils out and sharpen them and start making some things happen now. We got 3 years to fight and 3 years to put it on for local stuff. We see KDKA as their show down there all the time, but it's only for certain people. But I'm talking about a program like this that's open, that gives a different viewpoint. I think it would be wonderful. Final question, and I'll hang up and listen. I have not heard Smokin' Jim. Is everything okay?
We didn't hear you supposed to come in.
Certainly, yes. So he's good. He sent me a text early. He wanted tickets to the boxing match August 17th. So he's going.
He's good. He just couldn't make it today because this was a show because we couldn't do it a couple weeks ago. So he's good.
Okay.
But I'll make sure.
Your regular squad. Your regular squad, Luther. That's all.
Hey, of course. I did want to ask you one thing about the Caitlin Clark. That's one thing we didn't get. I wanted to get your opinion. What do you think about all the height and fouls? I wanted to get you, because that's the next topic we want to go to, Mark. Do you think she's being targeted, or do you think this is just basketball? A hard foul is a hard foul.
Okay, you're breaking up. But you asked me a question about
Caitlin Clark. think she's being targeted, or do you think it's just basic basketball? What are your thoughts about that? There's been a lot. Anytime it's like something happens.
That's simple. The response to that is, welcome to the league. Welcome to the league. The big girls. Put on your big girl shorts and play ball. You know what I mean? And, it's no hands off kind of thing. You're there to play, and there are some aggressive players who are playing. Hey, you got to get with the program, babe. I didn't see nothing in there. But if you're talking about that move where the one girl knocked her down, what happens all the time in basketball to check? If it would have been a problem, they would have called it. But I really didn't see them. But the interesting thing I like is that this whole women's sports thing is really taking on a new direction. And that part I am happy about. And so, that's my limited knowledge of what I've seen. And hey, man, it wasn't worth the news in my opinion. The news and look at it, we're gonna follow her. Oh my God, she fell. No, stuff doesn't happen. You see, she didn't make a big deal of it. You know what I mean? It was what happened. In my opinion, I don't play the game, but that's my take on it.
Mark, can I ask you a question? Mark,
yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Mark, can I ask Mark a question? And Lee and Luther? I blame Mark's right. I remember Isaiah Thomas going in and they I want to say Karl Malone, I think, busted to get a top of his eye. That's just the way the game is. The stars are always targeted. But I blame Mark said that's the league. Yes. But the media likes to stir things up. And that's what I don't like. I don't like when the media tries to divide and separate and start trouble. It's basketball. Tom Brady, when he was a star, everybody wanted to kill him. I watched Roman Gabriel, who unfortunately passed away. He was the star of his day. They beat the hell out of him. Joe Namath, they beat the hell out of him. That's who they go after. You're the star. You're not a backup third stringer. That's just the way everybody wants to get the star. But the media likes to stir trouble. They like to stir it up. And that's what I don't like. Mark, what do you think of those comments? And Lee and Luther?
Yes, sir. I agree with you 100% because the other small factor we got to talk about, too, is that you're a professional. You are paid very well. And so it's going to be very difficult to get the sympathy of people because you got checked where you fail. Okay, so this is it's the big boy, big girls league. At the end of the day, you get a paycheck, or the end of the year of the check, and it's 7 digits for that fall. And so people are expecting you to say, hey, now if it wasn't blatant and personal and bloody, we expect you just to get up, wipe it off, and finish simply playing the game. So I don't have any sympathy for that, but it's that you're targeted because you came in there being super, super great. And there are some folks who are telling you that you are coming in, get in, fit in where you can get in, because we are the great ones here. And they work hard to show you that. I ain't mad at nobody. And I do agree with you, Claudio. The media will hype it, make the issue of it. And that was the case with the Caitlin case.
Gotcha. All right, hey Mark, it's always a pleasure, man.
The Willie Mays passing. Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente, Frank Robinson, Reggie. I can go on and on. When Don Drysdale pitched, those guys knew that they were going to get thrown at. That's just the way it was. Okay, and they didn't fight. They didn't do anything. That they were the stars. Okay, so when you are the star, things are going to happen. And then what do? Willie Mays got knocked down. What do? He hit a triple. Clemente hit a triple. Reggie hit a home run. Caitlin Clark has to keep shooting threes. But I repeat, I just don't like the way the media likes to stir it up.
One of the last things, Clyde, and I swear I'm going to hang up after this, is that we have to also look. You make a very good point about the media's role, because it is the way the media will report it and show it to us, to us, meaning the public, and then expect us to act or to react based upon the way that they reported it. A perfect example is Tom Brady. You know, he was a perfect example of what was it Jack Lambert said years ago, put a skirt on him. Get close to him without them throwing the flag. I mean, he was untouchable. And you can see that they were protecting this guy, you know, or giving him an extra eye to making sure that no extra hits were. All leagues and all quarterbacks get that kind of same overly, you know, protective kind of treatment. So it is kind of a thing on how it's presented. And there's no question, I'm sure the leagues have a little something to do with that. But the bottom line, again, is, you know, who fills the seats, who's selling those tickets at the gate, and it's entertainment. So these boys have found the best way to market this league, and no one has been able to do it better than the NFL. And so some of the stuff we got to live with. Hey, guys, I don't want to take up too much time. I want to finish listening to you guys. Appreciate you,
Mark.
So much.
Appreciate you, Mark.
Hey, Lou, I want to respond to Eric Witt's comment. About what he said, you know, Tomlin, let's see if he can win a Super Bowl without Cowher's players in 3 years. Well, in 2 years, Tomlin will be traded at the NFL draft in Pittsburgh.
There you go. You making that prediction, huh?
He'll be traded. NFL draft in Pittsburgh.
Hey, y'all need to stop this Cowher's players. Cowher didn't win a Super Bowl with him the year before. They're no longer his players.
He was a coach. He was a great coach.
Okay, and according to you all, he underachieved too, right?
He inherited who?
Huh?
You say he inherited the team?
Did he underachieve too, in your opinion? If you say Tomlin has all his talent, he has one Super Bowl.
Hey,
did he underachieve?
Those guys played football. And he was a very great, intelligent coach when it comes to X's and O's.
Answer the question, Lee. Did he underachieve?
I don't think so.
So you think one Super Bowl is all he should have won? All those AFC championship games. That's one Super Bowl. Enough.
He made it to more AFC championships than Tomlin.
Claudio, do you think Cowher underachieved? I mean, people.
Yes, I think he's overrated.
Cowher? Overrated?
Claudio, man, you are tough on these coaches, man. Really.
Please, hey, don't get mad now. I think Phil Jackson was overrated.
What?
I think Phil Jackson was way overrated. Trust me. I've been studying coaches since a little kid. I see them all.
Claudio.
Let me ask you a question. Is Bobby Cox overrated?
Oh, man.
No, he's where he should be.
Okay.
He should have won more though with that pitching staff, but he's where he should be. They don't. I mean, that's a good name. How many times do you hear about Bobby Cox? I'll tell you who's underrated. And no offense to Jim Leland, who's getting into the Pirate Hall of Fame, but Chuck Tanner didn't get him into the Pirate Hall of Fame. Chuck Tanner was an unbelievable manager. Unbelievable. Very underrated. Billy Martin should be in the Hall of Fame.
I was about to mention his name, Billy Martin.
Yeah. Hey, but don't slight Jim Lee. Come on now. What he did here. I said, don't slight Jim Leland like that. Come on, Claudio. Hey, Lee, I thought this was going to be you. We started talking about Caitlin Clark. Get a picture, Lee?
You know what, Lou? I've been watching the WNBA when it came in, in the mid-'90s. She's getting a lot of hype, a lot of media attention. I don't understand why, because these, getting tennis shoes that you probably have a pair on right now. But I just think that, there was girls with better accolades than her for the WNBA to get the type of attention they get in this season. I mean, technically, I don't think these women deserve what the NBA players get, because ain't nobody dunking the ball and the season is short. You know what I mean? So, but they're never going to get paid what the men get paid. But I just don't understand what's the hype about it. She's playing at a different level, and what she don't need to The referees don't need to bail her out. Let her play the game. It's a different level. It's a different level. These women been playing for years.
Right. Hey, Lee, we got to call Whisper Ralph. We got D on the line. LD.
Lou, you know who's underrated as a coach?
Who's that?
I just want to call in and make a few comments.
You, Claudio?
Underrated.
Your voices are fading in and out.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. But go ahead, LD. The floor is yours, LD.
Just a couple things. I know Tomlin has a decent record, never had a losing season. But just think if he was in a weaker conference. They play in the AFC North. I think all of us would agree that conference is always tough.
True.
You got Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. I don't think there's another division that's as tough as that division.
I agree. Definitely.
Hey, hold up, Luke. What's Big Ben's record against the Cleveland Browns? How many 100-yard games did Jerome Bettis have against the Bengals and the Browns? Look that stuff up, and that's a strong division? Okay.
But wait now, I'm talking within, say, the last 10 years. Baltimore's always tough. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
It's always been tough.
They've been quite a few Super Bowls also. Cincinnati has been to a couple Super Bowls, and Pittsburgh has. Name another division that has so many teams going to the Super Bowl like that.
I was about to scratch my head and think about Boomer Esiason.
They played in a weak conference or division, so they went to the Super Bowl a lot, and their coach had an excellent record and an excellent quarterback.
Right. Yeah, New England was playing in that JV division for a lot of those years, so they didn't go through the wars.
If Big Ben doesn't get hurt the way he got hurt, think about the games they might have won with Tomlin as coach and Ben playing quarterback. Just think about it. And still, with Ben being hurt some of the times, they still did well. That's not just players. That comes from coaching also, in my opinion.
Todd Haley was a good coach.
About present-day Steelers. I think if the Steelers get a wide receiver, a number 2 receiver, they can make it to the Super Bowl this year. What do you guys think about that?
Is Martavius Bryant, is he on the radar to come back?
Man, he's never coming back, man. It's a shame he was out the league like that. Leave it alone, Lee. Leave him alone. Hey,
I watch him play spring football, and then he got signed with Dallas. I mean, he was still doing his thing.
Yeah. What about Michael Thomas? Isn't he still out there? And then we know he's dealt some injuries. But if he's halfway back, that would be a great number 2. You know, if they can't make a trade,
the receiver.
Yeah.
The receiver with the 49ers, he's not reporting to camp. Be nice to pick him.
Steelers can't afford him.
Yeah, he wants $30 million a year. I don't see that happening for a receiver.
If they trade Mike Tomlin, they can afford him.
You don't see that.
But wouldn't make it to the Super Bowl.
They'll win, but not with Tomlin.
Bona fide hater, man.
Yeah, and about
another receiver. Go ahead.
Lee, did you know that Manny St. Guy was traded for Chuck Tanner?
Oh, the catcher.
Chuck Tanner. And then they got.
Wow.
Just one comment about Kaylin Clark. I think she's a good player now. She might be a great player, but when she gets fouled, sometimes she gets fouled real hard. But other times, players don't even hardly touch her, and she gets the call. So it works both ways for her right now.
She does a lot of flopping, man. She does a lot of flopping. Great player, but all the hype about her not making a U.S. Olympic team, it's her year. You know, it's not. I mean, she has time to make it. In 4 years, maybe she'll be ready. But this year's team is loaded.
But you have her tennis shoes.
Do you think it'd been a good idea to put her on the team for promotion, for PR wise?
Man, it's the Olympics. Millions of people are going to watch it anyway. She didn't deserve the team. That's like none of the rookies in this class did. I don't really, if you look at it, the last I checked, in Rookie of the Year, she wasn't even the top rookie. So how are you going to put her on the Olympic team?
Hey, Lou, so the other girl from the Sparks out for the season.
Yeah, I feel Cameron Brink. I feel bad for ACL.
So that just decreases my chances from the girl from the sky.
Who Angel Reese?
Got that right.
Angel Reese was having a better year. I have her like number 2, doubles all over the place. I mean, I like this guy.
So who you have number 1? Did you have the girl from the Sparks?
Nakia Jackson. That's not the one who got hurt. Cameron Brooks got hurt. The forward. The guard. The guard didn't get hurt.
Okay.
The tall blonde got hurt, unfortunately. But Nakia Jackson is still there, and she's been on fire. Aaron must have got the time wrong. We got another hater in here, Ralph. How many head coaches walk into a job with a franchise quarterback? This will be Tomlin.
Hey, Lou, y'all show how much Tomlin is great. And Claudio could chime in on this. How many guys got a head coaching job from being under Mike Tomlin's coaching tree?
You know why I think he did that? My thoughts on that. And this may be a little safe, but I'm just going to say it. You got to watch who you trust, Lee. I know a few named coaches who got backstabbed pretty bad. Okay. And then even myself, I'll be very blunt with you. As an assistant, it was harder for me to be an assistant than it is a head coach. But because I knew more than the head coach, but I knew my boundaries. And I would never backstab the head coach ever. And I had some assistants that, no offense to them, they're wonderful people, that maybe somebody would have thought weren't college level. But I knew I could count on them. I knew I could trust them, and I knew they would work hard. There's been some people who want to be my assistant, even last year. And if I hired them, I'd have more holes in me than Sonny Corleone had at the damn toll booth. Okay. So, Tomlin, I think, I don't know the man, never met him, but maybe, just maybe, he's a little bit picky who he gets, and not just picked on, hired by resume. So I understand about the coaching tree. I get that. But then again, Belichick has a pretty good coaching tree, and none of them did any good. But I think a lot of, I know me personally, I don't criticize him at all about that. I don't find that a fault, because it's incredibly hard to find a good assistant that doesn't want that seat, your seat. And because he wants to, hey, I wanted to be a head coach too as an assistant, but I was not going to backstab anybody. I just couldn't do it. And I wasn't treated terrific either, but I still didn't backstab anybody because I wanted to be able to look in the mirror. But I see it, and there's some big ass names out there who that happened to, and I know I learned a lesson from watching others. And maybe Tomlin may have interviewed somebody, so yeah, he's got a great resume, but I just don't trust him. And I'll finish with this: you don't want to go to practice, you don't want to go to work, you don't want to be in a relationship that you have to look over your shoulder. You have to look over your shoulder. I always say, if you pull the same rope, the same time, the same direction for the same purpose, you'll get a great result. You can't pull it one way, can't pull it this way, can't pull it that way. You just can't. You can't have somebody, and even on an out of coaching thing with the boxing authorities, with Luther, Jim, and myself, we pull that rope together. Okay. I've always said, the show wouldn't be anything without Luther and Jim, and it wouldn't be. Okay, they may say that about, I don't know, but we have a good time. We do a great job. Never have one of us ever said, well, I'm this or I'm that. We do our thing. We let it run. There's got to be a trust. Okay. And I think Tomlin, maybe when he interviews people, I don't mean to jump around, but I'm trying to give examples. I think that he's careful. You don't want to go to practice or make a call and every damn time, because it happened to me. Every time I made a call, this one particular guy is going like this and making faces and all that kind of stuff. You don't need that. You don't need backstabbing. And trust me, it happens.
Well, they said that Tomlin don't want to be outshined from other assistant coaches.
Come on, man. All right, let me read these comments real quick.
Did you mute Claudio? He couldn't respond.
Was he saying something?
Oh.
Real quick, let me read these comments before we go. Go ahead.
I don't think it's. Look, we all have egos. I don't care who it is, okay? But I don't think it's that. I really don't. If I thought it was, I'd be very honest with you and say it. I don't think he's not going to hire somebody and say, oh, man, he's going to be better than me. I don't think that. I just think, maybe he was burned before. My dad used to say, an old Italian saying, I've been burned by hot water. Not even the cold scares me, right? So you got to watch because everybody wants that seat. There's some named college basketball coaches that their assistants have been with them for a long time because they trust them. Again, I just think it's a trust factor, Lee. It's a gut feeling. I don't know if this guy's going to backstab me.
Right.
I understand.
The quote Smokin Jim Tomlin might be great in the 8-9 here. That coaching tree is overrated just for hate. Ralph said most of Tomlin's assistants are yes. You met all of them, Ralph?
Todd Haley wasn't no yes man.
Frank Jackson, only a few assistants are good coaches.
You don't want to
terrible.
You don't want somebody to backstab you.
Right.
How many of Bill Belichick's assistants became head coaches and were great? Most of them were terrible.
Who's?
Bill Belichick.
Whatever
you call it. Most of them were terrible, and they got fired, ended up coming back to them because they couldn't do it without them. They weren't great. Coaching is very overrated to me. Come on, man. I know we had Aaron. I guess he was in a rough area. He came back in and went out. I wanted to get his thoughts again and give Aaron his L for saying Angel Reese was going to be a bust. Well, you got your first L, Aaron, on the show because she is not a bust. She's leading a rookie class in double-doubles, and she's only getting better. As is Caitlin Clark, as is Cameron Brink before she got injured. This class is great. Just looking forward to when Juju Watkins gets there as well. I'm excited. We talked about women's basketball in a while. But yeah, man, I definitely agree with all the calls. Man, we had some great calls. The legendary Mark and, of course, LD was in the house. Any last second thoughts, Claudio, and then Lee, before we get out of here?
Tell me another show like those shows that you see at 11:30. See if they have the decibel level and cover the things the way we cover them. I don't think so.
Absolutely. Lee?
Since I never get an invite for your boxing show, and it's been like that for years because y'all don't trust me. But anyway, so I'm gonna say this, and I told you Andy Ruiz was gonna beat Joshua years ago before COVID, and you thought I was crazy. I'm telling you now, when Zane comes in shape, he's taking over the heavyweight division.
Dang, he's 40. Lee.
It doesn't matter.
All you got to do is last past the 5th round, and that man is going to run it again.
If he comes in shape and he loses 20 pounds, he's taking over the division. You don't lose your power.
All right, hey, Eric comes. Eric, stay off the narcotics, buddy. Predicting this year, Pirates make the playoffs. Schemes is the real deal. Okay, somebody had one too many. Eric, you say this every year, buddy, and you catch L's every year.
Answer Brian Reynolds hit over 20 home runs.
Listen, Steelers are in the toughest division. The Pirates are in the worst division. I mean, Claudia, you are so right about mediocre. That division, the Irish division, is the worst in baseball.
It is mediocre baseball.
They're even that division is worse than mediocre.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's tough to watch. It really is hard to watch.
Hey, Claudio, when is Barry Bonds getting inducted to the Pirate Hall of Fame?
You know what? That's ridiculous that he's not in. Clemens isn't in. There's people that are in. There's people that are in that didn't get caught.
The Pirate Hall of Fame? Not the Major League, but Pirate Hall of Fame.
That's coming up.
When's it coming up?
He's going to get in the Power.
He's going to the Pirates Hall of Fame. When's it? You know when he's getting inducted?
Got the date coming. We got to be there, Lee.
He's in. He's in.
But when's the induction at PNC?
Sometime this year, Lee.
Okay. Yeah, I got to be there.
Oh yeah, we definitely got to be there.
It's in Wakefield, Jersey.
Hey Lee, Claudio, man, enjoyed doing the show with you guys, man. Eric said great show. It definitely was a great show. I want to thank all the callers, Mark, LD. Sorry for the callers we couldn't get in, man. We had some legends in the house, and it's hard to get a word in with Lee and Claudio get going. So, hey, everybody, take care. We'll check you out next week. We got some awards to give out. Have a blessed week, y'all. Peace.
Award.